defending. I think it's like.
People deluded. I'm back again. I'm wounded, but we still keep going. Let's see what is concerning Arsenal in terms of the latest news, views, gossip, rumours, etc. As you can see, I've got my screen shared with you lot. Granit Xhaka has posted somewhat of a cryptic message, people, online today. You know, it's widely expected that his 7-year association with Arsenal Football Club after today, which at the time of making this video, we'll be playing our last Premier League game against Wolves. He's posted a cryptic message where, you know, on the face of it, he's doing what all the footballers do, where they like preview the Arsenal Wolves game and put up their little Instagram captions and stuff. But as you can see here, it says, "Thank you, Gunners." As you know, he's won the Community Shield twice. And if United lose to City, we actually play in the Community Shield against City again, I believe. You know, obviously, he said, "Thank you, Gunners." What does that mean? So probably after the game, Arteta and Xhaka will come out and tell us what we widely expect, in that his 7-year association with the football club is over, and he'll be going to Germany. Hopefully, we bring players in. Allegedly, the Gunners are to hold talks with Nicolas Pepe. Various outlets are saying, people, that his contract could get ripped up. Now, we all remember a few months ago, Edu's comments where he was quite graphic and said situations like this kill the club. And on the face of it, everything has to be decided. You know, the unlikely event, and, you know, what we'd all love is that, because it would save us money, is that Pepe starts to look like the Pepe we brought him in for. And that's someone that can fight with Saka for the right wing spot. That's very unlikely and not likely to happen. When you now look at it, everything has to be on the table. Ripping up his contract, biting the bullet, paying him some compensation, reaching an agreement with his agent and keeping it moving. Even actually going out on loan again, which, again, as we all know, his contract is winding down. But if you get a couple of million in a loan fee and the other club is willing to take some of his wages, that's somewhat of a W. Ideally, you sell him outright. Can't see anyone giving him the wages he gets at Arsenal, or giving him, if they are to give the wages, a transfer fee that Arsenal will be looking for. Clearly, it's not going to be nothing like the 70-odd million quid. But according to Paul Brown, allegedly, people, his contract could get ripped up. If the best they can do is get him another loan move, it's possible that they do that instead. A lot of this depends on how desperate the player is to really leave and start afresh. I think they'll have talks in the summer and decide where to go from there once they've heard what Pepe wants to do. Obviously, you look at Pepe, you look at Cedric, you know, that's over 200-odd million quid being spent on two players that, on the face of it, we need a right back, we need a winger. They can't help us, allegedly, according to Arteta and in general. And he's 27. He hasn't done bad at Nice, but he hasn't pulled up any trees, really and truly. You know, again, you see Brook Norton-Cuffy unfortunately lost to Coventry in a playoff final yesterday. Balogun's probably the poster boy of Arsenal's loanees this season. Austin Trusty is linked with moves away, did well at Birmingham. Charlie Patino ended in relegation for Blackpool, but on a personal point of view, he adapted to life in the Championship. Even Nuno Tavares has probably made more noise. He's had a mixed loan spell at Marseille where there's been question marks over his attitude and things like that. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. What would you do with Pepe and anything else we're deciding? You know, again, not that I know, listen, money's important. You know, for us normal people, money's important, and money's important for footballers. I can't begrudge a man at 27 years of age if he says, do you know what? I'm staying put. If we can get along, great. I might think I can fight Arteta for a spot, or I'm picking up my loyalty bonus because I would have fulfilled the duration of my contract. And he's on a lot of money, and he's clearly comfortable in London as well, generally. I don't think he really, if it was up to him, I don't think he'd want to leave. And obviously his fate is where it's at, but you're not Arteta's guy. And I think Arteta has shown that he'll make difficult decisions. At one point, it did look like with Pepe, we turned the corner under Arteta. You saw what happened there. Aubameyang, his lieutenant Granit Xhaka is being upgraded upon. Tierney and Tomiyasu have been shagged. Obviously, you could force it. Smith Rowe as well. Arsenal could cash in on Bukayo Saka, this article says, because as we know, he's contracted until 2027. Allegedly, his new contract will enable him to keep his options open. That's great. I mean, I don't understand why Saka is getting a lot of flack from Arsenal fans. I know football is very tribal, but what do you expect a man to do? Ideally, the man wants to win stuff at Arsenal Football Club. He's come out through our academy. You know, he's played when he's injured, he's come out. You know, I can't talk up Saka enough. Anyone disrespecting Saka and saying he's a money grabber and all of these things, they're chatting nonsense. My man could have bust out at the first port of call. He hasn't, and he's committed a future. But you've got one career. And we've got to remember, while he's 21 turning 22, he's the guy. One day he's going to be 32, even if he was or 33, even if he was a one club man. And all you're going to get is thank you for the service, bye-bye. He has to keep his options open. You know, Saka is a poster boy in the Premier League and for Arsenal. He wants to join a competitive team or be part of it, which on the face of it, Arsenal is that right now, people, but it might not be that forever, really. So he has to keep his options open. I think his agent's done well because in the next 18 months, 2 years, you're going to have to begin talks for Saka again. And if he keeps up this trajectory, following not just this contract that he signed, the last one, it is what it is, really and truly. You know, you can't just look at it emotionally, and all options are open. Apparently, we resisted a release clause in his deal, people, and he's keeping his options open to leave in 2025. A bit too early, right? But yeah, maybe 2026 we could look at that. So I don't know why he's getting a lot of flack there. Allegedly, we've been linked with Koku, who has spent time with Reece Nelson when Reece Nelson was at Feyenoord. We've been linked with him for a number of years, but it's never come to anything. He's doing quite well at Feyenoord. Did they not win the Eredivisie? He's captained them as well. He's young. He's a decent player, quite tenacious as well. He's been linked as a possible replacement for Granit Xhaka. I don't quite buy it, because it's one of them like Telemans and that were always linked with, and it could have been done. Romano has said Arsenal have not changed their plans for Declan Rice as a top target. Opening bid to be submitted in June, waiting for West Ham to clarify final price tag and probably for their season to be over. They've got a Conference League final, UEFA Conference League final to think about. Nothing is agreed or done. Race remains open. Other clubs are also interested, so timing will be crucial. There was some links with us with Pedrino, the youngster. Apparently, there's been no concrete negotiations between Arsenal and his club Corinthians, despite any links. Edu knows the Brazilian market well. He's born in 2006 and he's highly rated, but currently there's no ongoing discussions. Now, Edu is obviously Brazilian. You've seen what it's done with us with Martinelli. We're trying to find emerging players, so that's probably where it comes from. When you dig a little deeper, apparently Corinthians' financial situation isn't good. So logically speaking, they might have to sell a prized asset to the European market for an inflated fee, as good as he may or may not be. We've been kind of linked with Ruben Neves. Reports are coming out that he'll leave to join Barcelona for 30 million euros. Apparently, Laporte is keen to bring the Portuguese to Barca, and all parties have agreed terms over a deal. There's also reports that was led by the Barcelona board versus Xavi's decision. I don't know if that impacts their pursuit of Victor Hugo Zubamendi, two players we've been linked with that I would love to see at the Emirates, people. So yeah, apparently he's departing, isn't it? Arsenal are believed to be informed on the situation of the player in relation to Sacha Boey. Apparently, we're not in hot pursuit. So we have heard the Galatasaray executives are in London. It's probably over another player and not one that could potentially join Arsenal. Liverpool have been asked to be kept informed on Ruben Neves. But you see what goes against Premier League teams. They're saying 50 million for us, 30 odd million euros like you just saw to abroad. So that's where you're at. Ornstein on Mason Mount said, my understanding is that Mason Mount is leading towards United if Chelsea agree to sell him, and talks are set to take place in due course. It seems increasingly likely he'll be leaving. Liverpool were the early front runners, but of course they aren't going to be in the Champions League. Man United have always been there. Arsenal too would love to bring him to their club. But it's United who have stepped forward as far as I know. Nothing is done, but I think that's the direction of travel. Other clubs have been made aware that United is Mount's preference. It just remains to be seen if they're willing to strike a deal. They're asking for as high as 80 to 85 million for a player whose contract's running down. We've seen this with Nicolas Pepe. Allegedly, it will cost 40 million euros to sign João Cancelo from Manchester City. City have placed a 40 million euro price tag on the head of João Cancelo as the fullback is expected to depart. Apparently, Pepe is saying forget it. He's actually picked up, somehow he's managed to win more league titles than City this season. He's picked up one at Bayern Munich, and obviously technically he's fulfilled the 5-10 games you need to in the Prem. So it will cost 40 million euros, and he's going to be on top money. If Arsenal wanted to do it, you could do it. I don't think we'll go for him. But yeah, it remains to be seen what is going to be done with him, whether he has a future at City, whether he goes to Bayern Munich, whether he goes to Barca, Madrid, Arsenal. All these teams linked with him, people will have to monitor that one closely. Arsenal and United are keeping a close eye on the Under-20s World Cup, as I'm sure everybody is. And we've been linked with Marcos Leonardo, who's very good in Football Manager. 20-year-olds done well, like the Brazilians. You know, I've been really impressed with the South Americans, and I would also say Gambia as well in the Under-20 World Cup, if I can remember correctly. We're going to get linked with him, and he's a young striker. We're doing this thing. United need a striker as well. It makes sense. I do think probably people have been watching him since he was 17, 18, because that's when you heard his name. I'm not too sure if Arsenal are going to go for a young, largely unproven prospect, and definitely United, who probably need an out-and-out 9. I don't know if they're going to go for that. Arsenal want to sign Brighton midfielder Caicedo, but Mikel Arteta is looking to turn the Ecuador international into an inverted right back. Bring it. West Ham have also been linked with Nuno Tavares, people. So make of that what you will. What is this? I think this is just a normal article, so I'm not going to waste you lot's time. Wrapping this up, apparently Arsenal have been offered the chance to sign Ansu Fati from Barcelona, a great player who's now 20 and injuries have been cruel to him. We're eyeing a bid for Olise. Would love Olise. Apparently, if he's available for 35 million, that's a good understudy for Bukayo Saka. We're set to win the race to sign Declan Rice. We've allegedly had a bid rejected for Sasha Boy of Galatasaray. Nelson has agreed a 4-year deal with an option of another one. We're looking at Rabiot. We've been linked with Conde. It's all madness, really. Seneribia of Torino, who's got a league high in his career of 12 league goals. I don't know if that's a striker we need to be looking at. I've covered this before, but we've been linked with Szoboszlai Dalianmo, the third Leipzig player to go with Mohamed Sinkerman, the right back / centre back / right back. So we have to monitor that. We're in talks to give Odegaard a new deal. Saka has signed a new deal. We're linked with Kimmich. We'd love that to happen, but it's probably a myth. Mohamed Kudus links have reappeared. Everybody's linked with everyone during this market. Burnley want Lokonga on loan. Everybody's going to get linked with everyone this silly season. Very few transfers are actually going to, the rumours are actually going to correlate to something real, but we'll have to monitor. And as I said at the time of making this vid, our last Premier League game is in a couple of hours against Wolves. You can expect things to heat up. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. Please hit the like button. Most importantly, I hope you and your loved ones remain in good health. I'm going to love and leave you lot, and I'll see you lot again soon.
There's always just that active defending.
I think it's like